Well, Aya Majoub is a researcher at Human Rights Watch in Beirut and lives 4 kilometres away from the explosion. Aya, thank you for being on the programme. First of all, just tell us where you were when this happened and how it affected you to begin with.
I was working at home, as you mentioned, about 4 kilometers away from the site of the explosion. Initially, I felt what resembled an earthquake. The building started to move. And then a few seconds after that, there was a very loud blast. And then I heard shattering glass and then the sounds of people screaming in my building. It was really quite a shock. And those first few moments, everybody was just shell-shocked. Nobody really understood what was going on.
The devastation is vast, it's huge, and still people are missing, as we say, rescue operations still underway. How do you think the investigation process will go? The Prime Minister saying those responsible will be held accountable. Are you confident that might happen?
Those responsible should be held accountable. Unfortunately, Lebanese investigations in the past have failed to yield results. Over the years, after various crises or incidents, Lebanese authorities have promised investigations. Unfortunately, in the majority of those cases, we never hear about the results of the investigations or accountability procedures. As a result, there is really a lack of trust between the public and the government, and that has been exacerbated in recent times by their failure to handle the economic crisis that has really devastated the country, devastated people's livelihoods, and left them fearing for their futures. I hope that the government will launch an independent, transparent, and urgent investigation into this matter, make the results public, and quickly hold those responsible to account. I hope that they don't repeat the experiences of the past, and I hope that they're able to really rebuild the trust with the public.
What are people saying to you about how this could happen? Of course, this is just the morning after. There are so many questions. But how could this amount of toxic chemicals be held so close to Beirut for 6 years in such volume?
Now, the details are still emerging about the circumstances that led to more than 2,000 tons of explosive material to be stored in Lebanon's port. But what's very clear is that there were huge amounts of negligence and corruption surrounding this incident. There were reports coming out and documents coming out show that there were many high-up people in the government that were aware of the existence of these explosive materials. So this begs the question as to why nobody acted. Why did they let this happen? This is bordering on criminal negligence.
And of course, there's the question of how this explosion could happen in at all, in the sense that was it deliberately started the fire, or was it an accident? That's also a very critical question, isn't it?
Absolutely. There are no reports yet to indicate that it wasn't an accident, but we are awaiting the results of the investigation. Yesterday there were so many rumors flying around, but we are waiting for concrete information before we were able to share anything.
Aya Majoub, it's been good to talk to you. Thanks for being on the programme, researcher at Human Rights Watch in Beirut.